Imagine being able to turn disgruntled customers into sales machines. What would that do for your revenue? Well, you're in luck because on today's episode, Jackie Yap and I are going to tell you just how to do it. Welcome to the Bringing Business to Retail podcast, where I, Selena Knight, share strategies, interview retail revolutionaries, and delve into the minds of e-commerce experts to help you grow a profitable, independent retail or e-commerce business. If you're stuck in a rut, or if you feel like business is way harder than it should be, or you've overachieved all of the things that you've set out to and are wondering what to do next, or how do I even make this better? I know that you're going to love today's episode. If you're stuck in a rut, feel like business is way harder than it should be, or you've achieved all of the things that you set out to and are wondering what next, or how do I even make this better, then I know that you're going to love today's episode. Hey there, and welcome to today's episode of the Bringing Business to Retail podcast. As we launch into the holiday spirit, I know that you guys are going to be hit, if you haven't already, with a huge amount of requests from customers, whether that's asking if something's available or what a pre-order is, or returns or changes to orders. All of those things are happening now as this episode goes live, and it's also going to happen a lot post-Christmas. So I wanted to talk to Jackie Yap from the gorgeous team to talk about how we can not only streamline that customer support process, but potentially also make some money out of it. So welcome to the show, Jackie.
Thanks so much for having me, Sal. Nothing like speaking with you on this beautiful Friday.
Oh, it's a bit windy outside, actually. I was a bit worried about for some reason when it gets windy here, despite the fact we're on NBN, I mean, my internet goes a bit wonky. My husband tells me I imagine it, but I'm telling you it's true.
Hey, if you believe it probably is happening. So I'm all for it.
Yeah. Maybe he's just using all the bandwidth upstairs.
Exactly. And he's just timing it with the wind. He's like, yes. I'm just going to do this right now.
Just to annoy her.
Yeah,
he do that. Now, you and I had this fantastic conversation. We went well over time last week talking all about customer support and making money from customer support. And I was like, you have to come on the podcast. So thank you so much for squeezing me in just before Christmas, because I know you guys are super, super busy. Just quickly, before we jump into our my very few questions that I have for you, tell us what Gorgeous is. So it makes sense. The conversation that we're about to have makes sense to the people who are listening.
Absolutely. I'd love to share more. So Gorgeous is essentially, we're a leading e-commerce customer help desk. And so what that means is we pull in all of your customer communication channels into one platform. So that's several emails, several stores, live chat, phone, SMS, Instagram, Facebook, and more into one. And we have the deepest Shopify, Magento, and BigCommerce integration. So from within our help desk, you can actually create invoices, conduct returns, cancel orders, have a full view of your customer communication history and order history, so you know how to really better provide a fantastic service, because you know exactly why they're coming in, what they need help with. And it's just so much easier. It's so much more efficient than maybe growing your team. Great to grow your team, but it's also great to have like one tool to make everything easier for everyone.
I love streamlining and automating. So leading into this post-Christmas, because we're going to put this episode live, we're literally just squeezing this in before Christmas. We're going to put it live next week.
I love it.
When people are listening to this, they're kind of probably stressing out because already there are so many emails. I'm going to say I am the person who has sent so many emails and live chats saying, can you just tell me when it's going to be back in stock? Like, do I need to print a picture out of it and put it in a gift, or will it actually arrive? I'm waiting for, not that this is a gift, but I'm currently waiting for an answer back on some lights. I'm like, just tell me when they're coming. I don't care. I just need to know.
Exactly. Set the expectation. Just get back to you in a somewhat timely way, and however long that is, at least you know, right?
At least I can make some plans. So what kind of, I mean, you know the stats. You see this day in, day out. What kind of volume can we expect to see of customers wanting some kind of interaction with stores over this period? Sort of between Black Friday, I guess it starts, right through to about the end of January.
So that's a really great question. We've actually dug into this a little bit. And so we compared numbers and trends from like last year and the year before. And what we've always noticed is there's 100% increase in support tickets from October to December in the lead up from Black Friday. And it kind of carries through to these Q4 holiday period because people just they need more. They need to speak to someone. Everybody's like getting in their Christmas shopping. There's all these delays. And so that causes more frustration on the customer side. So of course, people are coming in and saying, hey, I've asked like 7 times like yourself, like, when is this coming? And it is to be expected. Just more shopping, more volume means more customer engagements,
And I was going to say, I expect that due to supply chain issues at the moment, that number is going to be even higher this year because even the retailers don't know when their stock's arriving.
Oh, absolutely. There's just been so many issues with, shipping and like factories and everything with COVID. So you can imagine like everything went up during COVID and it has kind of sustained itself and then it shot up even more during Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And it's really just carrying through. And so I think it's been 100% increase in support tickets. But also the content of the ticket, when we really looked at that, 50% is really about like order status.
Okay, that was actually going to be my next question is, what is the most popular question that retailers get bombarded with?
Ooh, it's really, where's my order?
Order status. That
huge.
And I expect the next one would probably be something like product availability.
Yes, is this still in stock, or like how do I cancel this order? What's your refunds or returns policy?
Right. Okay.
Those come up quite often as well.
So that is an awful lot of resources that retail and e-commerce store owners have to put aside just to tell people where their order is. When, let's be honest, pretty much every retail and e-commerce store, when they ship out an order, you get tracking.
Oh, yes. One, you get tracking. You should get tracking. But surprisingly, how many people miss emails and just even when the FAQ is up on the page and everything, that need for human connection. I don't want to dig into my emails. I need that. Like, I'd rather just ask somebody.
Isn't that
kind of bizarre?
It's the epitome of laziness. Like for most of the time, you can just log into your account and it will tell you like the tracking number, and you can just click on the tracking number. And it will show you where your order is.
Exactly. But so many people are like, oh, I can't get into my account, or I don't want to get into my account. And so I'd rather send off like a tersely worded email asking where this order is, where on earth is it? Is it coming this year or next year? Or maybe even picking up the phone to speak to someone just to convey that, right? So it's interesting. Like, how do you like messaging into your when you shop yourself? Like,
questioning me back.
I do it. Yeah, she should have not done that. I'm not sure.
Elizabeth interviewed me. My creative director interviewed me last week, so it's like, did she get in your ear and say ask the questions back? How do I am probably very self-service with things like tracking. I don't want to wait. Like realistically, what is the point of me spending my time to email something when I can just click 2 buttons and find that it's there?
I love that. You're the customer.
Mine is the pre-order. Like it drives me insane. There's a lounge that I want to buy and 2 lights because we're redoing the back deck. They're both on pre-order. I'm totally okay with that. But just tell me, is that pre-order for the end of the end of December? Is it January? Is it February? Is it March? I appreciate right now you might not quite know, but just give me some kind of indication. But no, it's not on the website, so then I have to write an email, or if they've got chat, I have to get chat, and then there's never anyone on the chat, so then I have to wait like another day to get an answer back, and by then I've just found something else.
And they just lost a customer.
And that's what it is. Like you said before, it's the expectation and it's just the knowledge. It's not that I'm not prepared to wait.
Yeah.
That I just need to know.
That's honestly like that whole line in itself people here are like really kind. Like people are actually very patient, but you just got to be very honest with them that you're experiencing a delay in this or that, and your customers will really appreciate the transparency. But not responding to them
that just annoys us.
That's just like, you do really want to do business? Like, I'm ready to drop a couple thousand, and you just
and we're talking literally thousands of dollars that I'm looking at spending.
Oh, I'm sure it's a lovely lounge, like. And that sucks, and now you have to go spend time, shopping somewhere else, and you don't know when you're going to get that as well, or when they're going to go back to you if you have to get that pre-ordered.
Yeah. So, well, I didn't. I went somewhere else. I ended up just buying one that I can. It's not even exactly what I want, but I'm like, I'll just go down to the local store and buy one because I know I can get it and bring it home.
Yeah.
And it's like a few $100s versus a few $1,000s, but I'm like, it'll get me through Christmas, and I'll, when it dies, I'll get a new one. Yeah. Not usually the way that I shop, but like everybody else, you're kind of just taking what you can get.
Yes, absolutely. And it's, after a while, online shopping is like the stress, right? Your time.
And it shouldn't be.
It should. The whole point is it should be easier.
Yes.
And like let us help you make it easier for yourselves and for your clients. So
given so many people, like the top more than 50% are asking, where is my order? Tell us how we can streamline that process, because that and when I had my retail stores, the phone calls and the messages saying, when are you open? And you're like, if you click the opening hours box on the website, you'll see when we're open. It's like a waste of everybody's time, isn't it?
It's that back and forth, right? Like the customer just had to message in, and then now you have to respond. And are you really spending like 10 seconds to respond to this when somebody actually has something urgent, but you cannot get back to this customer? It's how do you kind of thread the line of giving them what they need in a really accessible way? So one of the ways that I would recommend streamlining, maybe let's start with the FAQ and then we can move into where's my order, is, so we have live chat from Gorgeous, and it's an out-of-the-box live chat. And what's really cool is, you actually touched on this earlier, is you like the self-service portal, right? Like you just want to I want to find out where my order is, or I want to cancel it. I don't want to go through anyone. So we're actually turning the live chat into an order status portal. It's a self-service portal, and we've actually checked out that will help reduce 50% of tickets, because it's just there at your fingertips. You can open it up and be like, okay, I'm going to cancel this or track this, and you can track the different items from your order. But another way that our clients use our live chat is they'll embed their FAQ within the live chat. So returns information, particular product information, any other terms and conditions, whatever you want there that your customers have a hard time finding, like even information on sizing, can be within that live chat bubble. And if the customer really can't find the information, then it actually transforms into a live chat with your team. So that also preempts your customer needing to go directly to you because they became a little lazy with, and it's fine. So like, you don't have the time to look for the FAQ sometimes, but if it's right there, it makes it a lot easier. So that minimizes customer inquiries. But in terms of how do you streamline the where's my order, very popular question. If you're a merchant right now and you're digging and copying, pasting the tracking information, if it's not already automated, holy
freaking hate that.
hate it so much, right? And people are pinging you on so many different channels, right?
Oh, yeah, and if they don't get a message on one, like in 35 seconds, they want it. They go and send you an Instagram DM, and then you've got like 4 support tickets for the same thing.
And sometimes like that's a disjointed experience, because you don't know if your customer on Instagram is the same one via email, unless you ask directly or you find a way to merge their profiles. And there's a way that you can do it through Gorgeous, but people get too excited and they ping you and they're like, I want my tracking information by Facebook Messenger, because that's the way that they prefer to be reached, and that's completely fine. So if you're going through and you're copying and pasting all of this information, you can truly automate this. And so one of the ways that we do that is, because we have a really deep Shopify sync, if we can create a rule or a workflow within Gorgeous that says if the customer has an order that's on the way, like it's fulfilled, like they've really sincerely ordered something, and the question is, we'll read the intent behind the ticket. If they're sincerely asking like, hey, where's my order? They're not asking anything else. You can remove any additional keywords. Then we will spit out an automated response with all of their tracking information. So as soon as the ticket comes in, like, where's my order? And if that's 30 to 50% of your inquiries a day, then you can say, here's all the information that you need. If you need anything else, of course, let us know. And a way to bring them back into your site and really to build brand love is to say, hey, also, did you know this is our mission? Or you've got this amount of loyalty points because we have got a really cool loyalty integration, and say, you've got like 100 loyalty points, or do you want to change your address? Or we just launched a new collection and you're part of our, loyalty program. We really want you to check it out. So it's a way of like driving value of here's all the information, but here's a little bit more value, and engage them and push them back onto your site to kind of upsell them in a way that makes sense, of course.
You kind of like fast forwarded, so I'm going to have to like rewind back to some of my questions. No. We didn't have a schedule, but you fast forwarded to like my most favorite part that we talked about last week, which is making extra money, potentially even on autopilot. So first of all, we've just made more money because we've just reduced the amount of interaction we've had by 30 to 50%. If that's your number one query, that is now out the door. Yes. But I didn't even think about that concept of being able to say, hey, here's our latest collection, or the loyalty points is where you get into the upsell. And you and I were looking at a brand the other day, and what we noticed was there was one particular customer support person that was out of this world when it came to upsells.
Yeah, He's so good at this upsells. We all need to learn from Asif.
We need to learn from Asif. So let's kind of fast forward to some of the data that we can get when we actually track support tickets in some kind of software. Whether someone's using Gorgeous or something else, I don't know whether things like Zendesk do this, but this concept of being able to look at customer support people, because there's never the one person. Like sometimes, even if you don't have a huge team, if you've got one person who does customer support, maybe you jump in every now and then, or maybe someone who's in your store jumps in, or one of your packers jumps in. But if you can see that one particular person is making money for your business from a support ticket,
promotion,
yes. So this concept, which I think most people it doesn't even enter their brain, that we can actually make money when we have this interaction. And it's not a sleazy, scammy way to make money. It's actually a really polite way of enhancing the customer experience.
Absolutely. Like your customer support team represent your brand so well, right? And as you mentioned, traditionally when people look at customer support, they're like, that's a bit of a plug. Like, we're here. You can't really generate money off customer support, but the opposite is true. Your customer support team are at the forefront of your brand, and every interaction is an opportunity with the client to really build brand love. Especially, we understand like return customers are the ones who spend the most with you, right? And so how do you empower your support team and your marketing teams like to work together and to understand like what is customer feedback? How do you define your marketing strategy? What do the customers really want? And so having the right tool where they can respond easily to all these like very simple, like, where's my order, and work on higher level tickets. Like, you have a VIP customer coming back, and we know they're a VIP because we can create a rule that says if they spend about $5,000 or whatever amount that you want within Shopify or your e-com platform of choice, then those are the first tickets we want to touch every single day, because those customers are going to come back and spend more. How do we have the right macros built out, and macros are canned responses that really exude like your brand tone, where it's like, here is everything that you needed. By the way, I noticed you really loved that collection of ours. We've got something in white that you would really love, or do you want to exchange that item into a different item? And an example of this is we actually had a client, and one of the a merchant and their client broke a water bottle or something, and they were like, I don't want this water bottle anymore. Can I return it? And the team was so good. They clicked onto one single macro and they're like, look, we completely apologize for the experience. We'd love to send you a little gift, but also, you know, if you spend like another $5-10, we'll give you like the best water bottle available. So they actually like upsold him on a broken item. And you can do it. There's so many ways to have like these Instagram comments, Facebook messages, all these emails, like really, really build that, you know, love with your clients for them to come back and return purchase. And even with Instagram comments, like don't miss a single one, whether it's a negative comment or a positive comment. You can say, hey, we love that you love it. You're tagging your friends. We want to give you a special gift. Do you want to slide into our DMs?
And that's all automated, that part.
You can just one click it. You can create like 6 different like canned responses for that. And of course, like you use the ones wisely based on context, or even in the email signature after you help with where's my order or anything whatsoever. One of the ways that our clients love to use it is like, you know, PS, we've got a Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale coming. It's going to be so good. Everything's going to be 30% off. So it's, again, being top of mind, right? So
yeah.
So many ways. The potential is endless with customer support. So definitely think of it as an avenue where so many things can happen. You just need to have the right tech stack, and train your team.
Yeah, I think you said this right back at the beginning, but so many businesses treat customer support as an expense when actually it could be a revenue generating exercise. And you've just shown like they can not only just pay for themselves, but they can actually make the business money.
Absolutely.
And what I loved about when we were going through the software is if you say you're the customer and I'm the support person, when you log in, I can see all of your orders. I can see what you've bought. So I can instantly make a recommendation of something that would work for you. So if I can see you only ever buy sneakers, I'm not going to recommend, you've only ever purchased. I'm not going to recommend. I'm going to first try and recommend a sneaker. And if you're like, oh, I don't need sneakers, maybe I might try and, wangle something else out.
Yeah.
But the customer on the other end is not offended. Like it just doesn't happen.
Oh, absolutely not. If anything, they love that even better. That it's like, oh my gosh, you remembered me. You remembered what I purchased before, how much I spent, like who on your team has helped me. So that's one thing that our platform, I think we're really proud of and we do really well is because we integrate so nicely into different channels. And Instagram DMs is coming in hot in Q1 2021.
I saw that on the roadmap.
Yeah, we're so excited. But just understanding, like, if a customer, like, how much have they spent with you? What's their lifetime value over however many orders? And again, being able to really tailor product recommendations to them based on their previous history, or even when they're live chatting in, right? We have a feature where we know the exact URL they're on. So if they're on a particular product page, we'll know that they're on, like, Adidas, this particular white shoe, and we'll also see all the different items in their cart. And that's like really powerful knowledge. Ooh, right?
Sneaky.
Oh, good. And so when they're live chatting in and they're like, I've got 7 items, and it's like, I got you. Do you want me to add an 8th one? Or what do you need today? Or can I give you a free shipping code? Or because you've purchased so many times from us before, like, let me give you a 10% code just for you. And because Sally from our team, we know helped you 3 years ago and she loves you and we love you, then we also want to continue that service. So what else can we do for you? Because you were telling Sally that you bought something for your mom. Do you need something else for your mom? Right? So we can go really far back in terms of those interactions with customers. And people love that and they remember that. And they'll talk about your brand and come back.
Yeah, and I think what we overlook is that when you realize, like, I know there are people out here who are listening who love chatbots. Me, not so much. They just annoy the freaking bejesus out of me because they never have the answer to the question I want.
Yeah.
So I'm not talking about automated answers like you've said where you can input where is my info, because then what I'm talking about is the ones that it's just standard canned stuff and then I still can't talk to a real person. And this concept of being able to know that there is a real person on the other end who can see what I've ordered, who understands my kind of buying behavior, understands where I'm at in my customer life cycle, in my customer buying journey, and can make those recommendations, I would go back to you for that. If you had that ability, then I'm going to go, well, they always understand. Whenever I get on live chat, someone always can give me some advice.
Mm.
I just want to jump in, and you just triggered me about Asif again. One of the things, if you are a brand that has multiple customer service people, you and I, we were just kind of jiving and brainstorming about how the person who was the highest upseller was Asif. And we can tag the VIPs. And so this ability to be able to say, hold on, Asif can upsell 40% of his customers. We want to give any VIP person, it goes straight to him. Like, we don't want a low conversion, like someone who's new or hasn't converted very well, getting a VIP customer who's likely to re-spend.
Yeah.
I love this concept of being able to, it's as if you would do it in person, right? You would have like your concierge, or you'd have your go-to sales associate. You can do this online as well. And behind the scenes, we can do that like automatically.
We could definitely do it automatically. Like, having that visibility on your team and like their productivity, and Asif, who's our VIP, like who's really generating money. Like, we can really dig into every single interaction, their conversations, their conversion rate. And of course, if we've got 10 people on our team and we've got 8 people on marketing and 2 people on from support, but support is actually generating quite a bit of revenue, and there are so many VIPs, there's so much opportunity, then maybe we should retrain, or we can have the marketing come step in, and we can really study like which macros are we using, which tags are coming up. Let's give all of our VIPs Asif, and maybe Asif is in a better position to train other people on our team because he does it so well.
Yeah.
And also understanding like where your customers are coming from, like the channels, like where do your customers want to be? Like, you want to know where these tickets and conversations are coming from. Because if you have 5 people on Facebook, but everyone's coming through email, it also doesn't really make sense.
No. And by that same token, again, one of the things that you and I were looking at was when we were looking at a specific brand, when their support tickets were coming in. And the funny thing was, 2, I think, out of 50 or 60? Well, I was going to say they only had 2 during the whole day between sort of 9 and 5.
Yes.
But the majority of the tickets came in at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my goodness. That's when people want to shop, like where we're in bed. And we're
in sleep.
Maybe it's just me. I can't sleep, so I'm shopping. But yeah, people want to shop when they can shop. And 9 to 5, people are working. So again, having visibility on where your customer is coming from, when are they actually like messaging in. If your team is 9 to 5, those are your set business hours, but all of your conversations are coming after 7 p.m. and your peak is 2 a.m. on the weekends, then let's flip your team around, let's be where your customers are when they are.
And how much more money are you going to generate by having somebody available at 2 a.m.?
Exactly.
And that person doesn't have to be like in the same place as you are. You find somebody who's in the time zone where they're awake. We're not saying your team have to be awake at 2 o'clock in the morning.
No, that could be a little bit. But yeah, find a way to make it work. Like, figure out all these different channels, whether if that is offshoring, we've got some really great partners for that, and they can service like 24/7 if that makes sense, if that's when your conversations with your customers are coming in, or if it is those set business times, then you can of course hire people here. It's completely up to you, but having that data is really integral to how you structure your customer support strategy and leverage also your marketing strategy to really drive revenue. Otherwise, yeah, there's just so many things that you could do. Like, support is important.
It is, and I think for too long we've just seen it as this like pain in our side, like this thorn in our side that we have to do. It's like, business would be great if it wasn't for customers, sort of thing. But actually, if you flip the whole mentality, and you flip it because you have the tools that you need to make life so much easier for everyone, then all of a sudden it's the complete mindset shift. That's like, well, customer service is actually an ability to build it's an opportunity for us to build the customer experience, but also to make more revenue.
Oh, I love how you said that, the way you said that, everything. Your customer support team, they can be your sales assistants, because everyone in a way is a representation of your brand, and everyone is selling in their own right? So if you just train your team well, there are so many wonders. There's so much money that could be made from support, and that's one of the things that we show in our stats page is like total revenue generated from customer support. And you think, oh, I'm purchasing a tool, I need to hire more staff, but you're also generating $20,000 over 3 months from support, and you could be doing more. Doesn't that essentially like pay for itself?
Yeah,
and make you hire more people.
Yeah. Sorry? And make you more money.
And making you more money. Like maybe if you double down on this, then you could be generating triple the amount. Like we don't know, and having those like base metrics like when you start with us. And this is one thing that I'm also very happy that our team does, is we'll really sit with you when we onboard and get you set up of like what your goals are. It's like, oh, I want to get my first response time down to 2 minutes, because I know anything under 2.5, 3 minutes, there's like a 25% conversion, a 28% conversion. And some of our clients, when they respond to like live chat, they're processing like 3.6 tickets. For every 3.6 tickets, there's like one sale. There's just so many things that
it's like a 30% conversion rate.
Oh my God, there's so many things. There's like literally 1 or 2 people on support processing 600 tickets just from live chat, and they're making a sale 1 in every 3 conversations. Like, you may want to hire more people and just like do more things. There's so many things.
Yeah. And I think a lot of brands, and it's funny because you always associate the lack of technology with smaller brands, like, you know, brands that are doing $100,000 or $200,000 a year. You would think by the time you get up to $750,000, $1 million, 2, 3, 4, 5, that you would have all your ducks in a row and you would know this stuff. But I can tell you that I work with brands that do anything up to $5 and $6 and $7 million who don't have anything like this in place. And they still are writing stuff down on a piece of paper or writing it down in a book, and then hoping that somebody on the next shift answers the question. And you just think, in the meantime, you've lost that customer.
Oh, lost them.
I just want to jump in and say, because before I forget this, because I'm too busy happy talking about you about numbers and customer experience and making money. We talked about VIPs, and one of the other things that I was really surprised that you were able to show me was for a couple of brands that we looked at, was the people who make the most support tickets or live chat type tickets are the VIPs.
The VIPs.
You should see her face right now. On video. She's like, yeah.
Oh my God, your VIPs. They should be the very, like, it speaks for itself, right? They're your shining star. They love your brand, and they'll keep coming back for more. They're the ones who go out and advocate, and you can see in their behavior, the return purchases. And you're not dedicating your first touches with your VIPs first as soon as you get in. Like, wherever your VIPs are, if they prefer to be contacted by phone, by email, by SMS, or live chat, you need to be there because they're driving your brand.
I was going to say, you would think that VIPs wouldn't need your help. Like, I don't know, in my head, you think, well, clearly you love our stuff and you like buying it, so what do you need any help with? But actually, for a lot of brands, those are the people who are, you know, realistically, if this was social media, we'd say they are the highest engaged people. It's just that they happen to be the highest engaged on your support ticket line.
Yes. They sometimes VIPs can require a bit more of like a personal touch, because even though they're return purchasers, they they have higher level questions, and you need to really, that's the first thing. It's like, please treat your VIPs really well. Like, your VIPs are just going to keep representing you out there. They're going to keep coming back and spending more. And it's even better when you have the same support team and they build a sincere relationship with your VIPs. It's like, Sarah helped me like a year ago, and Sarah is still here with this fashion brand. And every time she like kills it for me. Like, I whatever Sarah tells me is new, I just want to purchase it because Sarah's got my best interest at heart. She knows I'm going to want that dress.
I know, it really, and Sarah knows that because she can see what you've looked at. She can see what you've purchased in the past, what you've returned and what you haven't. And it is really taking that in-store high-end concierge type service online. And people will pay for that. That's the funny thing. Like, we're saying you're using your support tickets to do this, but actually people will pay for that service. So you may end up finding that there's a whole extra product, product service that you could create for these type of customers, where maybe you do personalized shopping with them, or online consultations and things like that. But you don't know if you're not having the conversation. If you're just writing it down in a book and nobody's ever returning the phone call, then how do you know how to fix the problems and to improve the customer experience?
You need to listen to your customers. They're going to help define your brand, right? So actually, one thing you mentioned about like picking up the phone calls is really interesting. So how did your brands how do they manage their phone calls right now?
Most of them literally write it down on a piece of paper.
Oh, they literally write it down.
Yeah.
And phone calls are like a great channel. They're like a fantastic touch, right? Like, people have gone out of their way to like make a call because they need additional help, or they want to make an additional purchase. You want to be able to save those calls. Like, that's really key.
How would you save the call?
Oh, we have a very, very lovely integration with like a couple fantastic virtual phone providers, including one called AirCall that our clients from Baird Footwear use. So they've got a couple of
I love Baird Footwear.
So good. They're like a dream client. They've got dream products, and they're
I'm just talking over the top of you. It's really, really rude. But I went to the chiropractor yesterday and she walked out and I went, "Oh, are they Baird shoes?" And she was like, "How did you know?" I'm like,
it's like, great taste. Great taste.
Yeah. So back to you.
No. I was just saying, they have truly fantastic team, and their customer service is one of the best in the industry. And so whenever a customer calls in, we have an integration with, I mentioned like AirCall and a few other companies. When they call in and they miss the call, or if they pick the call up, the entire call or the voicemail will save and sync to that gorgeous customer profile. So you can actually leave notes within the system and say, okay, we've got Sal calling in. She loved the shoes. She wants to buy another pair for her mom. Going to leave that note. We're going to send her, an order invoice because she wants another pair and she wants it in this size. And we can come back a year later and that call is still there. And all that information is still there. Like, that's really valuable.
That is valuable because, especially if you, over this period of time, you're likely to have your holiday casuals, like people who don't necessarily stay with you, or maybe they come back each year. But being able to bring people on and see an holistic view of how a customer shops, how a specific customer shops, means that as long as they've got some kind of common sense and a bit of sales training, realistically, they should be able to deliver so much more value, regardless of whether they've been with you for 3 weeks or 3 months or 3 years.
Yeah. The consistency in the customer service experience is also like something a couple merchants can forget, and that's something we're here to really advocate. Like, it starts from every touch with the customer is important. So they're speaking to one person on your team and they're speaking to another person. It doesn't matter how many people they're speaking to, the experience needs to be really stellar. We need to know exactly what they need, why they're reaching out to us, who has helped them from before. And visibility is really, really key. And so you want to make sure that you have the right tool, the foundation in place for when the customer reaches out, you can provide that experience, right? So again, it's having that right tech stack. And you touched on it earlier. You've got you would expect like larger clients as they start to scale to have something like this in place. And what we really like to share is, if you're already thinking about hiring like another person on your team to manage customer service, it's time to like bring on like a tool, because you want to have really good habits. This tool will make it easier whether it's one person, because everything's brought into one dashboard. Whether that's one person on your team, up to 100 people, you want to be able to have everything in one place. Everything's efficient, everything's streamlined, everything's ready for them. You can train them in like an hour or two and they're ready to go. And when you're a really large brand and you don't have something, then it gets really difficult to, oh God, my phone and my SMS. But, it's a little bit of teething pain. So it's really great to start early, but it's also never too late to switch as well, is what I'm trying to say.
Yes. I just had a thought, and you and I haven't discussed this, so I don't even know what the answer is going to be. But I have a few clients who do so much business on Facebook Messenger. They have retail stores, they have e-commerce stores, but they still get 30, 40, 50 messages sometimes every single day from people on Facebook. That's where their clients are hanging out, on Facebook. Sometimes it might be all these simple questions. When is something available? I saw that on social media. Where can I buy it? Which store is this at? Can Gorgeous take that kind of information, because it can connect with those social channels, and can it do the same things?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yes, she says it with such certainty.
Because we understand we've got like quite a few Asian merchants, and in Asia, like the channels that people like to be contacted on is like Facebook Messenger. So they like
WhatsApp.
And WhatsApp. Thank you. You're so good at this. And that's just how they want it. They want their invoices sent through Facebook Messenger. They want all conversations done through those channels, and that's completely fine. So as long as you sync their emails, you know that the customer who's messaging on Facebook, and will give you visibility as long as you integrate that channel, is the same one who's purchased from you, and you link their emails up, so we'll know that they purchased from us before. Then we can say, okay, if you want us to create an order directly from within like Facebook Messenger and send you an invoice, it'll go directly into your email. That's done. Or you want to cancel.
Game changing.
It is honestly our like e-com, specifically like Shopify and Magento, BigCommerce integration is like, imagine like right now, traditionally, a lot of brands would just hop between Facebook, Instagram, or Shopify. Then I need to create an order. Then I need to...
and then the tracking software as well half the time.
Oh God. It's just, there's so many. You have like 10 different tabs open and your phone's going off. Like, guys, you can have one platform, seriously, and you can create the orders from there. You can save the phone calls. You can, if they want like something through an Instagram comment, you can reply directly to the Instagram comment within like Gorgeous, or reach out however customers prefer to be reached out, but at least you have all of the options there for you in one. And no more 6 tabs, just one.
I'm just we hadn't had this discussion, and I'm just blown away that this one client, well, 2 clients I'm thinking of right now that do so much business through Facebook Messenger could just be sending out invoices.
Oh my God, and think about how much time that is, like just sifting
it's
through.
So much time.
So much time. I think like what you could do in 30 seconds to a minute, like in one click within Gorgeous, people can spend like 20-30 minutes, because they're sifting through like 5,000 conversations. They're trying to find all this tracking information, and that's where it's no one's fault, but you can really drop the ball. You've got 6 different tabs open, and is this the same customer? And boom, I just sent the wrong invoice to someone else. Or it can
also be, as I was saying, a lot of my clients, even these sort of mid to high 7 figures, it's the people who are in the store who are also doing some customer service. So then you're on customer service, and somebody walks in, and it's like, you're trying to juggle all the things
at one time. Yeah. It is a journey. It is a journey.
The struggle is real.
It's truly real. And you know what? Everyone's just really trying their best. So like, let us help you do your best by having something like really easy for you guys to use, like super intuitive to pick up. It looks like our platform looks like an email inbox, and everything just comes in. All of your Facebook messages come in, all your comments come in. Like, how good is that?
And I think one of the biggest things for me was just realizing that we get so attached to our physical team members, like the people, even if you're in e-commerce, it might be, the actual person who is picking and packing, or the actual person who is putting products on the website, that sometimes we forget that this is something you can outsource and it still be part of your brand. And when you have this kind of platform where all the information is there, it's not just somebody on live chat. Do you know what drives me insane? This is what happens after hours. Me. Hi, I'm inquiring about XYZ Lounge. Can you tell me if it's in stock in my local store? You'll have to contact one of our customer service representatives between 9 and 5 to get that information.
Oh my God.
I get so cranky at that. I go, so what are you here for?
Oh.
What kind of questions can you answer? Because why? Why have you got, you can assume that it's someone offshore answering tickets out of hours who literally cannot answer any question. What's the point? All you do is frustrate your customers. It's because they're not empowered.
Yeah. They're not empowered, they're not incentivized. It's maybe they're not properly trained. There's just so many things.
Yes.
So many things. And again, it can all be streamlined. Just everything here that we're chatting about is all about the customer experience. And when you make the customer experience better, you make the team experience better because they know they're delivering a fantastic, experience all around. So,
I mean, who really wants to be on the other end of that all day, every day? Why can't you answer my question? I don't want to talk to someone at between 9 and 5. That's why I got on live chat. Like,
I know.
How demoralizing.
It's, and then you have to find another avenue. Like, when can I call you? Or when can I reach out? Like, are you serious right now? Like, you're about to.
Yeah. Cannot someone call me between 9 and 5? Like, you're putting the onus back on me to give you my money.
Exactly. Oh.
Clearly something that really, really annoys me.
No, of course.
All right, I have to ask you one last question.
Please.
Why is gorgeous spelt so ridiculously wrong? Because my type A brain keeps typing in the wrong thing.
That is a really, really good question. So gorgeous is actually like an ancient Greek philosopher. And all the information at his fingertips. And I think our founders were really inspired by that. Just giving back and just being able to empower people through these studies. And so they're we're going to call it gorgeous. But yeah.
I was going to say, for people who are listening, it's spelled Gorgias. And my type A brain, every time I go to type it in, it types the word gorgeous, and I have to go, tab, yeah, back.
Back. It's gonna come up more frequently, and then you're gonna be like, it's just automatic.
I'll just type G, and it will come up.
Yeah, exactly. Learned word, part of that automation.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of this. I think it's helpful, regardless of whether someone uses your software. I think some of the tips that you've given us about even just the mindset shift that I think some people will walk away with after listening to this episode, that, oh my goodness, customer service does not have to be an expense. It can actually be a revenue generating experience, and they can take some of those tips and implement it. But if they are looking at something like your software, we're going to put an offer up on my website, selinaknight.com/gorgeous, spelled GORGIAS. And it might be because it's on your shirt.
And on my water bottle. I need to send you bottle. But we'll talk about that later. Yes, we do have a really great offer. If I can share, is that okay?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah. Okay,
cool. So until the end of the year, we've only got 2-3 weeks left. But if you guys want to check us out, just go to gorgeous.com/sign up. I think it's sign up, or
we can put a link on the show notes.
Yeah, we'll put a link, and just let us know that you came from Sal, you heard this podcast, and we're happy to give 2 months of free access until the end of the year. And anything after January, the start of January, we'll give you a free month anyway. So come check us out. We'll give you a complimentary demo and a really great onboarding experience. And if it's the right fit, then we'd love to help you streamline your customer support.
I think the concept of having even just that free month means that you can test it out and see if it's for you, because sometimes it will be and sometimes it won't be. And we all know that not everything is the right fit for everybody. But I love the fact that you guys, when you do that onboarding call, what you also do is you help set up a lot of those rules that we talked about, and the macros and the replies. So it's all just one click. It's not like, well, here it is. Okay, bye. You actually
no.
sort it out.
We really want to help teach your clients or anyone listening about how do you really maximize all of these different channels. So even from the first demo call, it's like, what are your goals for your business? What are your pain points with customer support? What are you trying to achieve? So we can show you the right features. And then when you get onboarded, then it's like, okay, how do we up your customer support metrics? What kind of use cases do you have? We'll show you how you can really drive sales through support. And we run a lot of webinars and we push out a lot of ebooks and stuff. So we'll say, you can do this for live chat. You can do this for SMS. This is how our clients like really drove X amount of revenue. So we'll always keep giving you tips, and we'll teach you and your team how to use it. It's not just, here's the tool. It's like, okay, how can we actually teach you to be able to leverage it in the way that it's meant to be used? Because it's easy. You just need to be shown it. And so we'll help guide you throughout that process.
Yeah. You don't want it to be another thing on your to-do list. Oh, I have to learn how to use that thing that I've just...
Oh, no. Absolutely not.
You guys make it easy.
Yeah. And one of the last things maybe I would share is we do play really nicely with other people's tech stack. So we work with Smile.io, Klaviyo, Omnisend, Reviews.io, Okendo, and quite SMS Bombarded and Attentive. So everything that you could imagine you could connect into Gorgeous, pretty much can. So
all the good stuff.
Everything, pretty much. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of that useful information. We'll pop that offer up over at selenaknight.com/gorgeous. And remember, gorgeous is spelled Gorgias. Have a very Merry Christmas, guys, and we will see you right back here, same time, same place in 2021. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the Bringing Business to Retail podcast. You can find all of the show notes over at selenaknight.com. If you found something that you heard today particularly useful, I'd love it if you could leave me a review on iTunes or Stitcher. And of course, feel free to share this episode with someone that you think could benefit by listening to it. Want more retail biz strategies? You can watch the Bringing Business to Retail TV show, where each week I'll answer a question or provide you with a simple, actionable retail biz strategy that you can implement in your business right away. If you have a question or a guest, I'd love to hear from you. Drop my team an email at podcast@selenaknight.com, and I'll see you on the next episode. Have a great week.